Hello everyone, this is Sharing Creations by Carrie. It's Carrie. Got my new mic hooked up. So if you've watched previous videos, hopefully you could let me know what it sounds like for you. If the other one sounded better or does this one sound better? When I do a little clip and I do a playback, this one sounds better. So let me know once it's uploaded to YouTube what it's like for you. So today I have some cards that I have made. Um, First off, I've made a bunch of envelopes. And what was happening is my cardstock, I'm running out of Christmas color cardstock. And so I came across this pack of paper that I got from Temu, which absolutely sucked. Brutally honest. It is like construction paper. And we know how easy construction paper tears. And so I was running out of my 65-pound greens and reds to make envelopes, and I didn't want to use up all my white. I was trying to conserve my white. I'm running low on supplies, like my cardstock to make cards. The card bases, I'm getting low on that. And so soon I'm going to have to restock my cardstock. And I'm not looking forward to it because it's going to add up. Sorry if my table shakes. I'm not used to my computer desk yet. So I had made one and it was just tearing where it was folded. And then I couldn't get the card out. But it was just letting loose at the anywhere where I scored it or folded it. And so I couldn't get the card out. I had to rip it. It was too tight. But that paper it's got that fiber look to it. It's like, I'm pretty sure everybody's come across construction paper where it's just easily rips. I mean, this is great for edges for junk journaling, but it's not good for envelopes. So maybe I should save this and maybe use this for cutting out dies. I'll save that because every bit of the paper is valuable. So a technique that I tried a while back was to Mod Podge it. And it gives it a glossy look to it because I use glossy Mod Podge. But it gives it a thicker leather feeling to it. So I made some envelopes because I didn't have enough envelopes for the amount of cards that I made. So now I have some extras. And it doesn't take long. I just cut the papers in 8x8 and Mod Podge one side. So I didn't Mod Podge this side, I just Mod Podge that side. Because as long as you've got it on one side, it shouldn't tear on you. And then I just glued it. I probably should have done the double-sided tape, but I chose to glue it because I didn't want to use up all my double-sided tape. I wanted to save that for cardstock stuff. And so the stash that I had made the other day, I finally did the handmade with love. And then I stamped all of them in the inside. I have not been doing this. And so I sat here and I was like, well, let me get this batch done. And then I just put a little piece of double-sided tape so that once it's sealed, it just sticks right there. So it's easy for the person to open. They don't have to sit there and fight with the whole flap. I haven't decided. I may do some stamping on the outside of this. However, I've noticed that the stamp the ink bleeds on the Mod Podge. So it doesn't look like I'm going to be doing any stamping on the Mod Podge covered cardstock. And I goofed on one of them. I forgot that it was the long full open and not the top. Y'all know whatever it's called. But I shouldn't have been messing with it until my head was clear and focus. So I goofed that one up. The sentiment goes this way. I was thinking, because I'd already made the card, so I had it in my platform. And so, of course, in order to get it right, I had to put it a direction and then make sure my stamp was in the right direction. Well, guess who goofed that one up? It's okay. It's not the end of the world. I only made one boo-boo, so... But I stamped all the cards that were in a previous video. I stamped all of the backs, handmade with love, and then put a Christmas-related sentiment in the inside. Haven't done that lately. Actually, haven't done that with any of the cards, most of the cards that I've made. So, I got around to at least this batch has sentiments in the inside. So I wanted to show you some cards that I made in the last couple of days. I did 2 last night and 2 tonight. So I'll show you the first ones that I made. I had watched Gina... No, it wasn't Gina K. Who was it? Dang it. The other set's from Gina K's. Inspiration from hers. Oh, I can't remember who it was. But it was watercolors. So in essence, what she did was she did pencil lines to draw her forest. And then she used gel pens to decorate them. I was like, pretty cool idea. So I didn't pencil any of them. So the trees do not look perfect. I just took watercolors and painted, just grabbed 5 different colors, putting some heaviness in some spots and lighten it up in other spots to give it some dimension. And I used these markers that I got from Temu for the silver on this one. And then I did it in green. So I only did 4 trees. And I did the gold one for the decorations on the trees. And then used the simple sentiment strips that I this last haul I got. And then I had taken the card. I've also done the sentiments in these. Did the handmade with love. But I had taken that metallic marker and colored all around the edge of the card so that it would coordinate perfect, because it's the same marker, with the design on the trees and the edge of the card. And then I put the foam tape, raised it up, just glued this on after I had cut out another batch of just plain ones. I didn't stamp them so that I could add thickness to the sentiment strip. And I just glued it down. And did the same exact thing, except this one I used the silver metallic marker. Did the same thing around the edge of the card base and mounted the card topper on. Did the sentiment and handmade with love on the back. I definitely wanted to play with my watercolors more, and so I was trying to come up with another technique, flipping through YouTube. This is very similar to hers. I didn't stray totally off, but I didn't do a lot of the steps that she did, and hers was a tutorial. And if I can remember who it is, I will put it in the comment section. But she had put a strip of tape across the bottom so that the bottom of her trees are perfectly straight. And then she sketched the trees out with a pencil. And some of some that she did, she just had taken the gel pen and just wrote the sentiment below and did the sentiment strips. I didn't do the tape because I wanted imperfection at the bottom. I didn't want a straight, perfect line. I freehanded it because I didn't want it to be no trees the same. So I didn't want it to look perfect. I wanted the trees to be different thicknesses. Like this one is a big fatty. This one's kind of a fatty, medium size. This one's smaller. So I didn't want exact sizes. This was the first one I did, and as you can see, it's not straight at the bottom. And I just started painting, and by the time that I got to the next color, the first one was already dry, and then I went to the next one. And this is not even watercolor paper. There's the kicker. It's regular cardstock. So I was very excited that the watercolors took to regular cardstock. And I believe this is Temu's cardstock. So it's not even your high-end name brand from one of the craft stores or one of the craft places online. This is Temu craft paper, cardstock paper. So I like those. They're different. It's not a die cut. It's made with my skill. Your skill can be even better than mine. And so I thought these were extra fun. And then I got the inspiration from Gina K. And I made matching cards or envelopes to go with them. But she had done, I think it was her live, actually it was her live today. Because one of the ladies said, go check out her Tuesday one that might inspire me to do a different technique with one of the other ones that I made the other day. And I did watch that one, by the way. So I'm going to try that one out. I just got to figure out how I'm going to pull it off. So I have to put the design in my head first before I even start. But I also ended up watching her live today. Oh my goodness. I'm yawning already. I tried to start this before that started. But what she had done was gift packages. And she has a cross die, and she used the center strip because it's a filigree type cross, and then it has just your plain simple cross in it. Well, she used that for the ribbon on her packages, and she did 3 of them on a card topper. Then she mounted it on black paper, and then she mounted it on a card. But she did 3 gift boxes and did the little bows on them. Did use that cross. It's using dies for what they're other than their original purpose. So it got my brain going. And she did 3 different packages, and then she did a sentiment. And she had taken the topper and mounted it in black. She had mounted the packages on black cardstock. So I was like, well, what do I have that I can turn into something that is not original intention? Because this is basically the dies. I thought they cut strips. I didn't read it. Temu sells one that does cut strips. That's what I thought I was getting. So guess who didn't read? So in essence, what it does is it does indentations. Unless you keep running it through your machine, it'll cut them into strips. But you have to run it through several times. Because I tried to, I think it was this one I tried to cut. It was either this one or this one I tried to cut. And I sent it through twice. And it ended up separating them. So I think I'm going to have to test this out and use some shims and run it through multiple times and see if I can get it to cut perfect strips for me. that's the plan down the road. But I had taken those, and this is the, let's see, trying to remember which one I used. I think, is it this one? Nope, I think it's, okay, so it's the center one that has the 6. Well, I cut it down so it only had 4. So I don't know if you can see the ridges, but there's ridges, which is the indentations that this die made. And so I hit it with ink, the Distress Oxide, and then put the blue embossing glitter powder on it. And here's the kicker, which is really funny, because if you see this blue, it's not even remotely close to being the same blue. This looks so much lighter. Well, it is lighter, but I think I had said it in a previous video, is if you use ink and not the embossing ink, then your color will be darker. So that's what I did. I used the Distress Oxide ink in the darkest blue I had, which is this blue. Took a snowflake stamp and just stamped it around, and then I inked this in the dark blue and threw that lighter blue embossing powder on it, and then heat it. And I did 2 strips so that I could get the crisscross like a package, like a gift wrapping. So because Gina K had done those little gift boxes, I think one of them ended up being 2x2. It was really that, they were that small. And I thought, what die do I have that I can turn into something and not use it for its intention, but use it for something else? So that's where the strips come in. And then I have this bow set that I had just cut one of these out, did the ink on it, and then did the embossing powder. So that's how I got the dark blue, because I wanted to stamp the background to make it look like wrapping paper. And I was wondering if I didn't do it with the Distress ink, would it look nice with the 2 different colors? So I decided, nope, I'm going to use the ink. And because this embossing powder has a teal flake in it, that if you hit in a certain light, it looks teal. So that's reason for the teal little mini tag and the sentiment. And then of course I stamped. And then this one I stamped really hard because you actually can see the indentations right here. But I did Handmade with Love. And then I did the 3D, the foam tape, and I did a little foam tape behind the bow so that it would be raised up, which she did on her bow. So that gave me that idea, because I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have just stuck my bow down flat. So I got that idea from Gina K. The tag, I was looking for something for a sentiment, and my sentiment keeps going crooked for some reason. And so when I was digging through my dies, I found the little tag, so I just wrote on it, "For you." And it looks like a gift. And the sentiment's wrapped especially for you. And so I did a coordinating card with it. It's in the blue family. It's not the teal or the blue, but it's the closest I had. And then with the red one, I did this die, which is smaller, thinner strips that would leave smaller indents. And this is only a single indent in the middle. And I did the silver glitter embossing and did the skinny strips on the back side. I had a snowflake or a snowball stamp where it looks like when you put it in the background it looks like it's snowing. Well, I'm taking that stamp and I wanted to do either a red or a green, and so excuse me, so I decided to go with the red, and the silver coordinate nice. Either one would have worked, but and then when I was digging I found this little tag, this piece of paper, and I just cut the tag out. This isn't the original piece of paper that I used that when I tested out doing the Mod Podge on this cheap, crappy card construction type paper. I found that in my stash of paper, and so I stamped it. When I stamped it, though, it seemed like the archive ink was spreading. I don't know how I got it to stop, but I did take my black Sharpie pen and went over it, and it just seemed it almost like it seemed it pulled it back toward it, and it stopped it from bleeding. And I did the same with the little mini tag. Did the 3D, the foam tape. Did the same thing on the back of this one, and stamped, "Let the spirit of love gently fill your heart and homes this season," and handmade with love. And my homemade envelope. So that is my adventure the last couple of days. I am super tired. We took the pups to the vet so they could get their nails clipped because they like to try to eat you when you go to clip their nails. And I even tried again, and I get a whole lot of pullback, or they're trying to bite me. So they both have to go to the vet with a muzzle on. Sorry. We have to put a muzzle on them before they even start so that they're not biting, because my little white fatty Chihuahua boy, I've tried to touch his feet. He'll let me touch his feet, but then he's like, all right, enough. But if I came at him with clippers, I get teeth. He gets ugly. My other guy, my Beagle Terrier mix, I actually got one nail clipped. We spent over an hour trying to clip his nails, and you get a whole lot of pullback from him. And he gets super anxious, so I didn't want to. An hour was enough. I didn't want to prolong it, so it's quicker to take him to the vet. And then, of course, he gets sick in the car. So he ended up on the way home, he ends up getting sick. So we were trying to avoid that. So he ended up in my lap and did really good. Didn't get sick. So he gets himself so worked up that he ends up getting sick. So it went smooth. But I am tired because I don't know why. It's so exhausting to take them to the vet. It's like this big production, and it's draining. And if you're not full energy to start with, it's even harder. So, I don't know, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm crashing. I'm crashing and burning. I'm running out of steam. So I have to go take a nap and then get back up and take care of the puppers and then go back to sleep maybe. But I hope that you enjoyed the cards. If you want me to do a tutorial on how I made the envelopes, I'll be happy to do that. Just let me know in the comments. I learned it from a YouTube video. It's super easy. It's just trying to get it to look even. Trying to fold it so it's even. the more I do it, the better I get at it. So if you try it a couple of times and it looks like garbage in your eyes, be patient. Practice with some computer paper. Don't beat yourself up. It's homemade. You're not a machine. So you've got that personal touch of somebody putting their effort into it. And I am sure somebody's not going to look at it and go, oh, well, it's shorter over here and it's taller over here by a smidget. They're really not going to do that. They're going to be like, oh my God, you made the card too? So, the more I do, the better I'm getting at it. So it's just trying to make sure that you're folding it, measuring and folding it, and you'll end up with a nice envelope. And I'm actually pretty excited how my envelopes are coming out, and they actually fit my cards, my base cards that I do. I take my 8.5 by 11 sheet, cut it in half to 4.25 or 4.5. Is it 4? No, 4.25. 8.5. Yeah, 4.25 lengthwise, and then I score it at 5.5 and fold them. And they're fitting in these cards and these envelopes, and the paper is 8 by 8, and they fit in perfect. Even the thicker ones, you just got to make sure that you're not folding too tight. The 2 points don't have to meet. Excuse me. So it'll give you a little bit of room to slide it in, and for the person to be able to slide it out. So, hope you enjoyed it. Hope it inspires you. If you want a tutorial on how to make the cards, let me know. I'll be happy to do that. And you don't even need a die. All you need is something to cut the paper, and maybe some corner punches to get. And you don't even need that, but basics, cutting tool to cut your paper down to 8 by 8, and then your corner rounds and glue or double-sided tape if you choose to. So let me know if you want to see that. If you like what you see and you haven't subscribed, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Working on that 1,000 subscribers so I can send out some fun craft supplies. I appreciate you all. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.